Welcome back to Unplugged, brought to you by DraftKings. We have a lot of hoops to discuss today, fellas. But first, let me welcome my two guests, my former teammate and homeboy, Keyon Dooling.
Yes, sir.
Fresh out. Welcome. And my dog, Max. Max, good to see you, baby.
Hey, man. Nice to see you too, baby boy. Keon, what's up,
Max,
homie?
What's up, home team? What's up, Florida boy? What they do?
Love, baby, love. You know it.
Max, I heard you're still waiting on your pack, Max.
Man, please, man, please. What the hell were you waiting on, man? I'm like, God damn, is it a minute? Man, I was about to ask you when we came off this motherfucking Mac. You got me, baby. Come on, my nigga.
we go.
I'm down here about to have to buy something.
Obviously, before we jumped on air today, I walked into an interesting conversation of kind of redemption for both you guys.
Definitely.
Obviously, I mean, myself included, we've all been through some shit, and we've all had
Absolutely.
to atone for our mishaps. And
Absolutely.
what does it mean to both of you to kind of be able to start to regain your footing in a space you dearly love? Katie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'm big on seniority. So the OG always get to go first. I
Okay,
know I
then
know the
then
rules.
pass the mic then.
Okay.
Vern, what's it mean to you, man? Obviously, you played before us and got out before us and outstanding career, but obviously you had some trouble off the court. We ended up connecting on a whim at All Star, and it's been amazing ever since. But what is it? How's it been for you to kind of, again, same question I gave KD, to kind of regain your footing in the space you love so much?
Well, it's a blessing for me because, man, I was down to at a low, man, at a point in my life where, I didn't know what direction was up and which way was down. And I had this young guy come up to me at my son's basketball game when my son was playing at North Meck High School. And he was like, he had this vision. His name's Cam Carter, my guy who really heads up my everything that I do. And he was like, young kid. I think he was like 23, 24 at the time. He's like, Max, you know, I think you'll be a good podcaster. And I looked at him, I was like, shit, like I was looking at him like, nigga, how much money that shit gonna cost me? You
Hmm.
know, I thought I was like, shit, this shit gonna cost me some money. I ain't ready to do that. I'm trying to stay alive. So, but then I finally got into it and then one thing led to another. That it's all about the numbers, Matt. And the numbers started coming together a little bit for me when I was with this company called Bovada. And shout out to Bovada because if it wasn't for them too, I wouldn't have, I was able to get out and do what I had to do. And but just like kept grinding, man, and kept grinding. And then I started with my mental health thing, my LLC, the Vernon Maxwell Initiative LLC. Started the mental health thing, and it was a blessing for me because, like I say about it all the time, if I can help one person when I talk about the
Mm,
mental health space, man,
Hmm.
I
mm.
don't care. Yeah, one person, if I can just help one person, they get it. And it means so much to me that, and then another thing with that, and I just like to say in the Black community, is, we don't talk about it enough. And I think it's very much needed, and we cite, we all want to be, Mandingos, the big man, and, in the crowd. So, and, so I just think, it's okay to ask for help if you need it. And that's my thing. And that's what I care about. And that's what I like to talk about outside of talking shit about all my stories that I tell. And that's a reason what helped me get to this space where I'm at today. Appreciate my guys on all the smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
yeah,
doubt.
we happy to have you. KD, same
No
question.
doubt.
Yeah, man. Just to piggyback what Max said is that like there's some stigmas that come along with us as black men. Like we're not supposed to cry. We're not supposed to have feelings. We're supposed to internalize, right? All those different things, right? But the other side of that is that, man, we see some traumas coming up. I know I got exposed to a lot of stuff, sexual abuse at an early age, you know what I mean? Seeing gunfights at an early age, poverty, you know what I mean? All these different things that you like carry with you that a lot of times like we are able to channel onto the court in our play. right? And so like it bring that dog out of us, like, yeah, I'm a dog. But like, man, deep down inside, when it gets quiet, when
We
it gets
hurt.
silent, when we
We
don't have
hurt.
an infrastructure like
Mm-hmm.
the NBA, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? All these things start coming back. And so like, man, for me, man, like just being a Florida boy and just seeing OG Mad Max, you know what I mean, and his journey. I still got a problem with how he got hair when he was bald head, when he would like double pump and finger roll that bitch. I still got a problem with that. But man, OG, like at the end of the day, man, like, I've gone through some hardships in life, but I've also done some good. And you have to wear your story. Your story is not like chapters in the story, it's a journey. And the
Absolutely.
journey continues. The marathon continues.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace,
Absolutely,
Nipsey
man.
Hussle. The marathon
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no,
continues.
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
I think that's why spaces like these are important. We started All the Smoke nearly 6 years ago to give people a safe platform to come tell their
Mhm.
stories, speak their truths, and we all came from an era. Keyon, you and I caught the end of, or excuse me, the beginning of the social media era. But Vern, you lived in a full era where what they said about you or what they praised
Yes.
about you was the gospel. You
Mm-hmm.
never had a
Right.
rebuttal. You never had a voice. You
Absolutely.
never had an opportunity to rebuke any or
Absolutely.
dispute anything they say. So that's why I feel like obviously All the Smoke was so important when it came, and now you see a ton of sports podcasts in general. But
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
look at none of them as competition because I feel like each one has a unique journey, a
Absolutely.
unique story, and something to share. So I'm glad we got a chance to touch on that mental health side and that real side, because again, that's why we do this. But there
Absolutely.
is business waiting for us, fellas. The second round of the playoffs
Wow.
are here. And let's start with the Celtics, who blew a 20-point lead in the third quarter against the Knicks. Boston, 15 for 60 from the 3-point line. Tatum, 4 for 15. Brown, 1 for 10. Um, I didn't read too much into this, to be honest with you. Obviously, I applaud the Knicks for going in there and stealing game one. But I feel like this is the type of team Boston is. I still feel like they're the best team
Hmm.
in the playoffs. I still feel like they will win a championship, but I feel like they have mental lulls sometimes. And one of those lulls are settling a little too much for
Mm-hmm.
threes. But what did you guys see in this game last night that stood out to you and shocked you or pleased you or surprised you?
OG
Well,
always get go first, OG.
like I appreciate you, Keon. Like I always say, man, you live by it, you die by it. You know what I mean? I mean, if you see, your percentages. Those guys get those stat sheets over there on that sideline. They get to look at it. We wasn't able to do that, but they get to look at that motherfucker, and you see that you 1 for 7, 1 for 8. Then, goddamn, you got to change it. You got to change what you're doing. You know what I mean? But Boston gave away one last night. I mean, they got a kill on the other side in Brunson, man. This
Mm-hmm.
guy, I mean, I'm telling you, man, he's probably playing the best basketball right now in the playoffs, man. I feel, man, that guy's a killer, man. He's really, really playing exceptionally well. I love him, man. But I mean, and I just think that Boston will win the series, and I just think now it's gonna go 7 games now. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Boston is gonna win the series. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Keon.
no, the piggyback Max is like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, like styles make fights, right?
Yeah, right.
And analytics are a part of the game at this moment. And so the Celtics play at a fast pace and they shoot a certain amount of threes. And if they can have their guys shoot their threes at the percentages that they usually clip at, they feel like they can win over the course of a year. The playoffs is different, right? It's possession by possession. Big shout out to the referees because the referees allowing a lot of stuff to
Play.
happen that
Yeah,
doesn't
letting these
happen in the
boys play.
regular season. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, I put referees in the same block as I put cops just to be, all the way authentic. You
Indeed.
know what I mean? They're here to
That's right.
enforce the law. You know what I mean?
That's
So I
right.
have my feelings about
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
But I also
yeah.
think that the referees know
Me
that
too,
there
homie.
is a time and a space and the playoffs are a unique experience, right? And so they're letting a lot of physicality go and things like that. I agree with Max. I believe the Celtics will win ultimately, but I don't think it just has to be rim and threes. I believe that the mid-range game is what made Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jordan who he is. It's made all the great centers who they are. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe like rim and threes are the only way. If you go 4 for 15, if it's not going from outside, like get to your midi. I know Jason
Yeah,
Tatum. I
absolutely.
know Jalen Brown. I know that you know what I mean, Derek White. They can get to their midi as well. And so like when you have a guy, you know, who misses free throws like Mitchell in the game, and you can kind of get these gaps, like use those to like get to your midi and just kind of maintain the league instead of just going rim and threes. I think if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I think this is where analytics versus the eye and experience kind of comes into play because we haven't seen a lot of 3 pointers, 3, 2, 1, you know what I'm saying, three for the game. It's been the midi. It's been Michael Jordan
Mm-hmm.
pulling back. It's been Magic Johnson's hook. And so I think that the 2 point, you know what I mean, like basket has been minimalized. And I would just love to see that balance because like the playoff basketball is coming back because I see physicality.
I just think,
Yeah.
and another thing I want to point out, but I think it's a wake up call for these motherfuckers now. The Celtics now, they got the call now. It's time to go now. This motherfucker, this the
Yeah.
series start. I know it's supposed to start the first game, but these kids are different these time and days. Man, the next time, man, it's finna go down now. It's the series
Yeah, I
start.
mean, this is nothing new for the Celtics. I mean, they're currently shooting about
Absolutely.
36 per game in the playoffs.
Yeah,
During the
yeah,
regular season, they
yeah.
shot above 40 for the playoffs. So I think 60 is a bit much, but again, this is the one of those
Yeah.
lulls that they have. But I still feel, to your point, Keon, that mid range and all the guys you named,
Yeah.
including Drew Holiday, can get to
Mm,
that mid range, and
mm.
Porzingis can get to that mid range. Um, this is a stepping stone. But let's also credit New York. I mean, to come into Boston and what Jalen Brunson could be the best player in the playoffs right now, or playing the best. But let's give credit where credit is due. Brunson and OG, the way they played last night, they didn't necessarily. Boston didn't give it to them. They went in there and took that motherfucker. And shout out Mikal Bridges, someone who played 51 minutes, didn't have a good shooting game, but hit a
Went down.
huge three in overtime and had the
Yes.
game sealing
Seals.
steal.
Mm.
And again, this is a guy that's been, had a lot of people talk about, what they gave up to get him, and he needs to do this and he needs to do that. That dude is just a gamer, and he makes big plays and big shots, and he was also
Yeah.
huge for them. So, I mean, to your point, the series has officially started. The away team came and got one on your home court. How do you
It's-
respond?
Like you said, Mikal Bridges, big time plays down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively,
Mm-hmm.
big
Yep.
three. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
OG, third quarter, went crazy. I mean, really got him
Mm-hmm.
back into it. And then
Mhm.
we already know in the fourth quarter who the finisher is. The finisher guy is, Brunson, the best finisher in the fourth quarter in the NBA this year. So
Mm-hmm.
shit, when you just get him there, man, that motherfucker knowing they're gonna take care of his business, man. And it was close
I
like
don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't recall another player just right now that makes you jump up and out of your seat and turn your head and put your hands over your face when you hit shot like him and Steph. Him and Steph are the two guys I feel like when they hit shots, the way they hit shots down the stretch in the clutch, it's just like, God
I
damn,
mean,
these
you're
dudes are
absolutely
tough.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, as a
Daggers,
man, have a
hammers.
excited for this series. It's only game one. Game two will be on Wednesday. Next up, Thunder and Nuggets. Jokic is channeling his Bill Russell out there dropping 40, 20 double doubles, but also screaming at his teammates. And, obviously with the coaching change, this was something to me that wasn't a concerning, but I was just interested to see how it played out with Adelman come. Is it David Adelman? I played for his dad, Rick Adelman, one of the best basketball minds I've ever been around. But David Adelman, and sometimes, and you guys know as players, sometimes the greatest thing a coach can do is get the fuck out the way. I think
and
Steve Kerr did a really good job of that with those Golden State teams. He would implement what he wanted, but he would get back because he knew he had players that he can trust out there to do what they needed to do. And obviously, I feel like Adelman has that same trust in Jokic. Jokic, who throughout his career has been someone who's been very very reserved and quiet, but I love to see the passion and the teaching and the yelling and the
absolutely,
sense of
absolutely.
eagerness at the
Yeah.
time. But for what
Yeah.
they were able to do
Yeah.
against this young OKC team, to come back. My brother Aaron Gordon. I mean, a quick story. I've been playing with Aaron Gordon, man, since he was like 14 or 15. He used to
Mm.
play in the San Francisco Pro-Ams with me when I was a pro with the Warriors. I was throwing this dude lobs at like 15 years old from like
Wow.
half court.
Okay.
I
Wow.
always knew he was going to be special, and people quickly forget what kind of scorer he was over in Orlando. He was 20 points a game in Orlando. I
Yeah.
think he came to Denver and kind of found what his role was and was kind of more of a Swiss Army knife, but he's someone that could score the ball. But definitely wanted to shout out him for knocking down that big three. But let's discuss that game. What did you guys see in that game? Keyon, I know you like to hand it off to the OG, but I want to start with you, Keyon. What did you see in this game where the Thunder left the door open, Chet missed some free throws, and allowed Jokic and his boys to come back and get the dub?
Yeah. So the first thing I'll say is that Chet's missed free throw was worth one, right? They hit a three to win the game. So I don't think that was the game in particular.
Yeah.
I still like OKC. I still think they have, the talent, the skill set, the coaching, the continuity, and the bench play and the diverse amount of combinations that they can play. So I still like them in the series. But here's the thing. Like Jokic, the Joker is the best player in the NBA. We have never seen a point center. We've heard of the term point forwards and things like that until this point. That guy is a point center, right? He can get you, 30 plus points, 20 plus rebounds, and then still assist the game. So he is different. He is different. I still like OKC in the series, though, Denver got that win, but it was a great game, great competition. I still think that Denver, you know what I'm saying, like, has an issue because they got rid of Mike Malone, like at the end of the season. But what I saw is that I saw Joker in the huddle, like, hey, listen, like, we got to do
Mm-hmm.
this, we got to do that. Right. And so he's like a coach on the floor. And so, like, at the end of the day, man, I think this is a very intriguing series. I think Brom is kind of playing the role of like Bruce Brown. I think that Aaron Gordon has been a max player at some point, right? I think that, you know what I mean? Murray is a max player. Even though he hasn't been an all-star, he's still been one of the most elite players in the playoffs. So I think Denver still has that confidence. They have won a championship, etc. But I like OKC. At the end of the day, I don't think that Jalen Williams, you know what I mean, shoots at the percentage that he did last night, that he does over the course of a series. I think they have more combinations. And so I still like OKC in that series. But, like, man, we got to tip our hat to Joker, man. Like, that boy is something unique. He's a unicorn. He's something we never seen. And I got nothing but respect and good things to say about him.
KD, you mentioned a lot of things that Oklahoma City has, but there's one thing you didn't mention that they don't have.
What's that?
It's that experience.
Experience. Yeah, I
Denver's
agree.
been there, and we all know playoffs is about getting hot at the right time. And obviously, I think the layoff for OKC, sometimes it helps you. Obviously, they're going to have fresh legs, but not playing playoff basketball for as long as they hadn't played. There was a little rust at times. You could see that, and I agree with everything you say. Oklahoma City has. But what I do like about Denver is they've been there and they've done that, and they have the best player in the world who's very engaged right now, and he's got
Yes.
the rest of his
Yes.
team
Matt,
going.
that's a
And
great point. And like Mad Max knows that Sam Cassell didn't have playoff experience when he came in, in the championship round.
but he had a lot of OGs around him who had
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
that confidence is contagious. You know what I mean? If you're
Yeah.
around Hakeem, you're around Max, you're around
Mm.
Clyde, you're around
Yeah.
motherfuckers that have
Right.
already done it, that
Right.
shit is gonna rub off on a younger player. And I'm not
Big
to
Absolutely.
say that
facts.
OKC won't win this series. I think it's gonna be a great series. I'm personally picking Denver
Mm.
because I feel like this is the last hurdle of OKC's learning curve. I think they're gonna learn so much if they end up losing from this and from here on out after the season. watch the fuck out. But I think this could be the last season of their learning curve, and I love experience when it come playoff time, and the way Jokic is playing, and the way Aaron Gordon has been playing, 2 game winners in this playoff. Michael Porter Jr. has woken up, as you mentioned. Murray is playing good basketball. Braun is playing that Brown, excuse me, or how do you say his last name? Brown is playing that that
Swiss
role that
Army
you
knife
mentioned,
type, Swiss
but
Army knife type shit, doing
he's
everything.
more of a skilled scorer.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
that I like too. So I mean, them boys are playing right now. Adamant is kind of
Mm.
getting out the way and letting them boys do it. So it's going to be interesting. But Max, what did you see in game one?
Well, to piggyback off what you said, I like OKC winning the series. Um, I just feel like Jalen didn't have a great game. Shit, Chet, you make the damn 2 free throws. I'm sorry, Chet. You know how much I love you. You got to make them free throws down the stretch, brother. You make them two free throws, and fuck, they go down there and hit the three. Okay, we go into overtime. Okay, but that's real big in the playoffs, making your free throws. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers turnovers and making free throws. And I piggyback over what you said too, Matt, about the experience level, and that's true. That's what happened to my fucking Rockets. With Golden State. Just didn't have enough experience. You know what I mean? All those guys, they're great young players and a great young team. But shit, you got these guys won 3, 4 damn championships,
Yep.
and I mean together, man,
Mm-hmm.
that's big, man. In the game 7, I don't give a damn if you was playing it in somebody's backyard for the Rockets. You know, Golden State was gonna win that goddamn game. So,
Yep.
and I knew that, but I'm just saying, man, experience is everything. And like you said, Jokic, he's so engaged now. He's just like, God damn, just give me the ball and get the hell out the way. And just a guy he had to, what? I think he led the NBA in touches this year, I think. And
Facts.
shit, and that's big, you know what I mean? So, and a guy that getting all those touches and knowing what the fuck to do with the ball every time, making a lot of decisions, making a lot of the right decisions. Man, that's tough, man. But it's gonna be a tough for OKC. But I still got the young guys pulling that. It's got to go 7 now. They got to go up in Denver and win one now.
Mm.
Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see. Haliburton. Papa Haliburton, John Haliburton, has been
Oh.
banned from Pacer games for this foreseeable future because of what happened at the end of Game 7 with Giannis during the Bucks series, kind of overshadowing, what the
Yeah.
Pacers were able to
Yeah.
do to the Bucks. How do you guys look at this? Because when I initially
Yeah.
looked at it, I looked at it one way. My initial thought was, you're lucky you did it to a nice guy, because if you would have hit
Thank
someone
you.
like me or
Man,
Max or
come on
Stack or
now.
someone else
Yeah, oh
with
my
that shit,
goodness. Come on, man.
you might have got Daffy ducked. But
Yeah.
after I kind of watched it a little bit, and then I was talking to some people who know him really well, he's just a really proud father. I think that was caught up in the moment, and I think we've all been caught up in the moment one time or another. And obviously, our shit hasn't, or actually, some of it has probably been caught on camera. But our stuff didn't happen at the end of a crazy back and forth series. But I'm looking at more as a father now, as a proud father of his son, and you get to know that this guy goes back and referees in the inner cities, and he's huge as far as giving back. And I just think he really just loves the fuck out of his son, and he's a black father that is there to support. And dispelling the narrative of there's no black fathers, all these players are coming from single mother. I think you throw all that into the mix, and I kind of see it. I look at it different now, and I'm not bothered by it. I think it was a mistake, obviously, but shit, he has to pay for it now, man. And
Yeah.
and, and I
Yeah.
think one thing that I've heard is the son is a little disappointed with Pops, and he wants him to just sit still and shut up, so he can focus on what needs to be done. But when you guys initially saw that, Max, what did you think when you initially saw Pops on the floor, waving the towel of his son's face and Giannis's face?
Well, I was at, and the series was over too. So what I thought, I was like, shit, what I would have done. I don't know. I probably would have hit him with a 2 piece, but I'm saying that ain't the right shit to do. That ain't the
Right.
right shit
I'm
to
saying
do.
he got
That
the right
ain't,
one though, because
yeah,
Giannis is a good
yes,
mild mannered dude, but he would have did that
he's a
to the
great
wrong one.
kid.
It could have been some
Yes,
real.
yes,
It could have
yes. So
escalated.
Absolutely. So that's why I was like, and I get it. And to a lot of people don't know what you just said, Matt. They probably say this dude's an asshole. Halliburton's that an asshole because I didn't know all this about him, what you just said until now. So
Right.
goddamn, I was like, man, this dude's an asshole. That's what I thought. Just like I know I was an asshole when my oldest son was playing ball. I know motherfuckers that ran me out of gyms. So I mean, so I get it, I get it. I was a proud motherfucking father, so I didn't got kicked out of big games for my son playing. I mean, and I get it, but you know, at these games, man, where you can drink that fucking alcohol, man, some point and sometime you gotta cut these motherfuckers off, man. When you see this motherfucker getting right, you gotta cut these motherfuckers off. When you see, I mean, this man done had 4, 5, 6 of them, man. Come on, man. This motherfucker gotta get cut off. All right, senior. We're gonna give you some goddamn water. Feed this motherfucker water. So, but other than that, man, guy's probably a great guy, man. But you're right, Matt. He went to the right motherfucker and did that shit. So, and
I mean,
but I'm just glad nothing escalated. But he did take away from his sunshine from winning the first, round. But I mean, more power to you, Halliburton. Keep doing what you're doing. You had a great game one. Let's see what you do tonight, baby boy.
and real quick before you answer, Katie, as a father, I've actually had the punishment that Halliburton's pop has had actually at Harvard Westlake. I couldn't go to Harvard Westlake this year because of shit that happened last
Damn.
season, or some people was out of pocket talking to me, and I responded, and they gave me a year suspension from Harvard
Wow.
Westlake. But I've been able to talk to the people in charge over there, and next year I'll be allowed back in the building. But sometimes you do get caught in the moment as a
Oh
proud
man.
father. Max, you
Absolutely.
mentioned
Oh
getting kicked
man.
out of your son's games, and
Absolutely.
I say, man, I had a blessed and so much fun playing in the NBA. But nothing makes me prouder than watching my kids
Yeah.
excel and
Yeah, I'm
succeed
trying
in
to
something
say
they love to do.
doing well.
So
That's right.
again, I can completely put myself in John Halliburton's space.
Mm.
I'm gonna get John. I'm gonna get John on the show. I
We
don't know
got to get
when
him
because
on.
I'm sure.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah,
him
I'm
on.
sure. I'm
Let's
sure.
get
I'm
him
sure Hallie's making him be quiet right now. But I'm gonna get John on the show. We gonna holler at
on.
John, man. We gonna get a little redemption
After
tour
the
for John.
playoffs.
But
Let's get him on after the playoffs. He probably can come on
Katie,
after the series over with.
Katie,
They'll
what'd you
get
think?
No, man, I see I see both sides of it, Matt, because I'm, a father of four. And so like I do take a lot of pride in the fact that I've cultivated and helped my kids develop their skill set, whether it's through tennis, whether it's through baseball, etc. So I do understand that point of it. Um, I do think that it is a little bit cloudy in a sense where like kind of going in front of Giannis after you
Yeah.
lose a game. Matt, you done lost a game. We done cried in locker rooms and things like that together
Mm-hmm.
as men when we're trying to pursue like greatness and things like that. So like when we lose, it's a certain amount of emotions that come with it. And I believe like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like emotional intelligence, you know what
mm,
I mean, and impulse
mm,
kind of like runs together. And so, like, I just didn't think that the timing was right for him to be able
Correct.
to do that to Giannis, to a player of that caliber at that moment, in that time, in that space. I just remember like telling my pops, like when I played for the Heat, like pops, like don't walk outside with the Cavassier at the end of the day. I know they serving it up in the family room and all those different things, but like, dude, don't walk out with the Cavassier because like I still got a name, a likeness, an image that I'm trying to
Yeah.
project, and I got a job to do.
absolutely.
This is my job. I'm not coming to your job, or your business and imparting like how I feel things should go. And because the stakes are so high, I feel like, his father kind of missed the mark on that. He got kind of caught up in the emotions. That doesn't take away like the journey, right? And the support and the love and the appreciation that he has. But that could have turned into another Malice at the
Yeah.
Palace, especially
Mm,
Absolutely.
Indiana being a part of that. That could have been something that could have spiraled out of control. And so I do think
Mm-hmm.
that like, okay, like, like holding Pops accountable, you know what I mean? Tyrese taking his stance along the way. At the end of the day, like, dude, he's a max player. I know he wears short shorts. You know what I mean? I know a lot of the NBA players hate on him and things like that.
Stupid.
I know the Kings got rid of him. But man, Tyrese has got a gold medal. You know what I mean? He's an all-star. He's got the Pacers rolling. And so, like, at the end of the day, man, like, let's enjoy the journey, because I'm telling you, man, the shit
Yes,
ends. Max, you and
quickly.
I will say all those things. At some point, it ends, right? And so, like, while you're in it, you got to be appreciative and respectful
Mhm.
of the rhythm that comes along with the game.
Katie, I think before we move on, I think you made a great point. I think both Hallie and Pops have a chip on their shoulder. I mean, he was voted the most overrated player by his peers.
Mhm.
That shit
Yes,
hurts. I mean, you
yes.
can have the news media may be able to say shit
Mm-hmm.
about you and talk trash and degrade, but when your peers vote you the most overrated player in the game, I know he took that shit personally. He's
It
been
hit
playing with that
different.
kind of swagger and chip. And I know if
Yes, yeah.
someone voted my son that, I'd be ready to fight everybody too. So I totally understand where Pops was coming from. Doesn't make it
All
right.
right.
It
Yeah,
doesn't make what
yeah.
Pops did right.
Absolutely right.
But the one
Yeah.
thing I do like is obviously I love the way Giannis was able to articulate the situation and have forgiveness in his speech.
Absolutely.
And both the dudes said, I love you to each other. So again, I'm glad it didn't escalate to anything big. And we definitely got to get Big John to come fuck with us on Unplugged
Facts.
and hear his side.
Gotta do
But
it.
moving on, fellas, a legend has stepped away from the coaching sidelines. Gregg Popovich is now the president of basketball operations for the Spurs after suffering a mild stroke in
Mm.
November. Pop is 76 years old. One of the greatest to ever do it. 29 seasons coaching, 22 straight consecutive playoff appearances from 1998 to 2019. Won 5 championships: 99, 03, 05, 07, 14. Gold medalist in the Olympics. A
Yeah.
true legend is stepping aside and stepping into the front office. But what was a little more concerning to me was just his health. Pop doesn't look good, and
Yeah.
it's scary and it's sad and it hurts my heart because he's gave
Mm-hmm.
his life to this game, and to see him have to have help getting up and guys walking next to him to make sure he gets there, that shit just really hurt my heart. Obviously, I'm happy for him and obviously him going up to the front office, but just as a human, it scares me a little bit, man. We're getting to an age now where we're seeing our mentors are getting older and
Yeah.
slowing down, and some are
Scary.
passing, and it's obviously a blessing for us to be making it this far and a blessing for them. But just the reality of life is, some of these guys are getting a lot older. So, Max, what did you think about what you saw? And then also, do you have a favorite Pop story being out there in Texas?
Well, Pop was just, he's one of the guys that brought me in there to San Antonio. They drafted me. Well, they traded for me. Denver drafted me. They traded for me the same night. So, a lot of love for Pop. Great man, great father. Just great husband, great grandpa. I mean, he's everything, man. But like you said, he's gave his whole damn life to the game, man. And it did hurt me too to see him helping Pop the way they was helping him move around, the way he was moving around. But like I said, I always tell my friends still today, I be like, nigga, shit. I got about 35 good ones left, motherfucker. So, nigga, hey,
Right.
I gotta live these motherfucking 35.
Mm-hmm.
I turned 60
Mm-hmm.
on September the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So I got
Wow.
damn 35 more good ones left. So shit. So I be like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I mean, we all got our exit dates. And,
Yeah.
Pop's done a lot of great things for a lot of good people, a lot of people, and helped along the way. Even me still today, you know what I mean? Like I just said, man, Pop he's a basketball junkie, and he can't lead the game. He's not gonna step away from the game, but
Right.
just for him to be still up there in the office, being the president, doing what just his knowledge and just his presence, just being up there in that
Mm,
office. I mean, and it means so much to the organization, man, because when you say San Antonio Spurs, you say Popovich. So that's how you say
absolutely.
Greg Popovich. That's
Abs-
how I feel about that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. KD.
Yeah, man. So, like, of the Mount Rushmore to me, it's Red
Mm.
Auerbach, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Greg Popovich, in my opinion, right? I think that, like, Pop was the most reachable of all of those guys. Though I didn't know Red and his impact, you know what I mean? Because, like, I was time stamped out of that. But, like, for our generation,
Stupid.
man, like Pop impacted us. He would always give us a word or always have some sarcasm or always have something, you know what I mean, to engage with, right? And then you look at his disciples, the Avery Johnsons of the world, right? You
Mm-hmm.
look at, the
His
Danny
coaching tree
Ferries
is
of the
crazy.
world. You look at the Sam
Mm-hmm.
Presti's
Yes,
who's having
true.
great success. Like, not only did he build coaches and players, he built like infrastructure. And so, like, when you see Draymond reach out to him, when you see, Murray, like leave Louisiana after like having an injury and being there for Pop in that moment, you
Mm.
see that like he's been able to impact the generations across the board. So I will miss his energy on the sideline. I actually saw like one of the teams in the playoffs like send a trap from the backside, which is a Pop technique. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yep.
To be able to stop Jokic, even though they didn't really stop him, but maybe on that possession. But like he, not only from a strategic standpoint impacted the game, from a manhood standpoint, he impacted the game. From a social standpoint, he took stances that sometimes were unpopular. From,
Yep.
a feminism standpoint, he hired women, you know what I mean, like to be, assistant coaches. Like he is a trailblazer. He is something special to us. We love Pop. We respect Pop. We appreciate him. And all we care about is his health. And I'm glad he doesn't have
Absolutely.
to go cold turkey and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm glad that he
Right.
gets to, though he stepped down, he elevated, right? Which
Yes.
was really like he's a
Mm-hmm.
natural leader at the end of the day. So, man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that Pop is still a part of the San Antonio fabric. And I hope that other teams can take the same approach with people who we, put on a pedestal. Because a lot of times they'll chew you up. This system will chew you up and spit you out.
Spit you out. Absolutely. Great coach, but even better person, Pop. And I'll share a quick story
Facts.
before we get out of here. When I was playing with Memphis, my second to last season, we played them in the playoffs, and our whole team was fucking hurt. And I remember after the series, he came up to me and said, "Barnes, you played your ass off, but you can't bring a spoon to a knife fight." I said, "Oh shit,
Talk that shit,
fuck you,
Pop.
Pop." Yeah, so it was good.
That's
But yeah,
him. That's old
absolutely.
Pop.
I mean, to your guys' point, I mean, we're concerned now just about, him enjoying the rest of his time. I
Oh,
mean, we
yeah,
all
definitely.
have us on this screen have more time behind us than we do in front of us, man. So we definitely got to cherish our times.
Absolutely.
Fellas, I appreciate you guys joining me today.
Oh,
I
no.
will see you guys back here soon, man. You guys enjoy your day.
All right,
Mad
man.
Max, I'm going to be
Appreciate you,
like
man.
you when I grow up. Matt, thank you, bro, for all that you do,
No
bro.
doubt, doubt.
Blessings.
Okay,
For sure.
homeboy. I love you, baby.
Jesus.
God damn, bro. You okay over there?
Man, this is crazy, man. These girls won't stop hitting my phone, bro.
I thought you just said you was dry a couple weeks ago.
Well, man, I've been using these Rose Sparks, man, and I guess the word is out on me, man.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Because last thing I heard, you got a bad case. That's why you got to shave
Nah,
your
man,
facial hair.
Nah, no more flatlining, baby boy.
You're back.
I'm back, man.
Man, I might need to try these. Like, what's the process with them?
You put one of the lozenges under your tongue, man, and on average it's 15 minutes, man, and you ready to go. And let me tell you, bro, it works, bro.
Looks like you're confident. Everything is going good with you.
Absolutely, bro. And the ladies are super satisfied.
Are they?
Man. Come on, man.
You're
You know
back,
what I'm
huh?
saying? Come
You
on,
ain't been
man.
back. You ain't really been back since like 98, 99,
Oh,
though.
man, come on, don't do me like that, man. I'm back. I'm current right now.
Yeah,
baby.
up
It's
there.
all about getting back in the game.
You feeling good?
Absolutely, man. I had the flat tires, man, and now I'm burning rubber again.
Yeah. Are you using rubber, though?
Good Lord. Well, at my age, man, you're not supposed to, but I'm still doing it, baby boy. Let me tell you, it's part of my budget now.
Well, congratulations, man. I'm glad you're back in the game.
I appreciate it. I really do.
No doubt. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks for your first order on a recurring plan. Connect with your provider at ro.co/smoke to find out if prescriptions of Rose Sparks is right for you. That's ro.co/smoke for $15 off your first order. What up, y'all? This is Matt
Your boy Stack.
from the All the Smoke podcast.
Big news. We're teaming up with the ultimate sneaker plug, StockX.
You see it. It's on our feed. Let me put you on to something real quick. If you're serious about sneakers and style, you need to be on StockX.
For the rash kicks to the latest releases, StockX gives you access to everything you need to level up your game. No more missing out, just straight up access to what's next.
Head to StockX.com or download the StockX app to level up your collection.
It's the game changer. StockX. Now you know.
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. I know we stay joking, but let me take a second to put on my serious voice. Because this isn't a joking matter. Me personally, I would never joke about a 5G network that has invested billions in building 5G towers across the country.
Me neither.
Not even once.
Me neither.
Feel me?
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network and also provides coverage across 99% of America. Seriously. Visit boostmobile.com or your nearest Boost Mobile store for more information.
The Boost Mobile network together with our roaming partners covers 99% of the U.S. population. 5G speeds not available in all areas. You ever had one of those moments when you want to elevate your night? Maybe it's a dinner with friends or a celebration that calls for something extra. That's where Grand Marnier comes in. You probably heard of it, but have you tried the signature drink? The Grand Margarita. It's the twist of a classic margarita. It has the smooth richness of Grand Marnier's cognac. And combined with orange liqueur, a bit of citrus, and just the right amount of sweetness, with a taste like that, it's perfect for any occasion. Whether you're chilling at the crib or out with friends, a Grand Marg remixes a regular cocktail into something extraordinary. Don't just settle for a good cocktail when you can have something grand. It's about making your next drink one to remember. So when you're making your next margarita, remix it and make it grand with Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. 2025 Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style, drink responsibly.
Now back for our favorite segment and our favorite resident. He doesn't want to be called hater, so let's just call him Eugene Davis today.
Oh, God. At least call me by my government name.
Or Fire, presented by Rose Sparks, fast-acting, long-lasting ED treatment for Gino.
Hey.
JJ Redick is under, not necessarily a little bit of fire. I think people have kind of, is taking offense the wrong word, for just kind of his energy towards the media a little bit. In this tough first round exit versus the Wolves, but he recently said, without naming names, that guys must get in championship shape.
I'll start with the offseason and the work that's required in an offseason to be in championship shape. And, you know, we have a ways to go as a roster. And certainly there are individuals that were in phenomenal shape. There's certainly other ones that could have been in better shape. That's where my mind goes immediately is you know, we have to get in championship shape.
Is that Sparks or Fire? I don't think it was a low-key call-out. I think it was a high-key call-out, and I think we all know who he was talking about. He was talking about Luka. But is this Sparks or Fire, Gino?
This Fire.
Okay. Talk to me.
I mean, he has a lot of nerve talking about getting in shape, though, to me.
Why is that?
Because he needs to get his coaching together, too. Like, you know, he also has to do some work in the offseason.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. I mean, first-year coaching Lakers.
And don't get mad. I know that's your man and everything.
No, I'm just saying, 50 wins in the playoffs. I think they overachieved. They got the third seed. I thought, personally, to be honest with you, that after the trade, Dallas removing injury was a better roster for the playoffs and making a championship run than the Lakers. I think the Lakers caught some chemistry fire and did well, got to the third seed, but I've always thought that they have a poorly constructed roster, and adding Luka was a long-term play, not a short-term play. But I saw you lost your mind. I mean, you wanted LeBron gone. You wanted.
I was done with the James
you
family.
You wanted Bronny gone. You want JJ gone. You think Luka needs to get out of here. How can you trade him? Like, you were very emotional. And I kind of let you just be emotional. I didn't want to trigger you because I was gonna fuck with you, but I just let you be emotional on social media. What is your thoughts now that the you know, we're into the second round? The Lakers are in Cancun. LeBron put out a tweet yesterday that he wasn't going to be able to make the Met Gala because of his kneecap. Where are you at with your team and moving forward?
I mean, it was depressing to watch, and I'm talking for the whole city of LA. I mean, we're all depressed behind our team not being around playing for the rest of the playoffs. You know how boring it is to watch the playoffs without the Lakers? I mean, I believe.
Did you post that?
You know it. You see LeBron. That's the statue. That's his new statue right there.
You posted that?
That's perfect. You saw it.
I didn't see that.
Stop fronting
LeBron,
for
all
TV.
these hating takes are
Stop
from
fronting.
Eugene Davis, his Twitter handle. I don't have nothing to do with this.
Come on
What,
now.
what else
Stop
you have,
fronting.
Nate? Nate said he screenshotted
He
all
did.
your bullshit just to bring it on here.
He did.
So
He
the
did.
fans can see how LA fans be
LeBron's not
acting.
exempt from ridicule from when we take L's, bro. So I don't know what you
nobody
guys
is.
are talking about.
Nobody is.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel moving forward? Obviously, depth in the front court is a must. JJ didn't play Jackson Hayes. I don't know what Jackson did, but he just must have not have did enough. He didn't get a chance to get any ticks. I wonder what we can do for, I can't bad eyes. Luka this offseason. What does this team need?
I mean, we need a big man ASAP. I feel like that's the first point of business this summer is locking up a big man. We saw what happened against Minnesota. We had Gobert looking like Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh,
Like, seriously, I've never seen him look like that before. And, of course, it's against us
yes,
in
of
the
course.
closeout game
Of course.
for our season. But, I mean, I'm hearing all kind of things, rumblings. Giannis, which Nate tells me is a dream. I shouldn't even dream about that.
I saw a list today, and they would have to make some shit work. But he has 4 big city destinations that intrigue him. And Los Angeles, they didn't say what LA team, but they said Los Angeles was on there. So I don't think that's too far fetched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard Jared Jackson from Memphis. I'm down with that too. Anything to get somebody.
Oh, Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, is that what did I say? Jared?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, bro. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But we need a big to come in and set the tone for next season, especially moving forward if we're going to be re-signing Luka to a long-term deal.
Well, you're definitely going to do that. I just feel Luka, and I'm sure everyone's giving him advice on it right now. It's going through one ear and out the other. In shape is going to be a priority, I think, for him. I think his diet is going to be a priority for him, just to slim down, because he is bigger out there, and you can hide a little bit in Dallas with kind of some of the shit you were doing, but you can't hide in LA with some of the shit you're doing. The percentage of him getting blown by is just unacceptable. He's going to need to get with the applied metrics coach to get his feet faster and his agility. And most importantly, his shape, because obviously he's asked to carry a huge load offensively. And that is, I'm sure, I've never had to carry that kind of load, but I'm sure that's draining. But he also has to be present on defense. And I think Steph Curry went through some of this earlier in his career, where he was someone that teams targeted. And it wasn't that Steph became a great defender overnight. Steph just started putting in great effort on the defensive end. And that's all it takes. Luka doesn't have to be a great defender. Luka just has to give fucking effort on the defensive end. And you need a great team defense behind him. But again, I'm still someone that believes his offense outweighs his bad defense. I still think this was a good move. I think this was a move for the future. So again, I feel like they overachieved this year and got hot. And at the end of the day, the better team won in Minnesota. Shout out Julius Randle. He played with a chip on his shoulder the whole series. And if you don't want to be the face of the league, stop playing so motherfucking good, bro. Because you are going to be the face of the league. You a bad motherfucker, and just deal with it. Gobert played great. And Gobert takes a lot of criticism. So I definitely want to make sure we give him some love for his 2020 game, the way he was able to affect the game. And at the end of the day, send the Lakers home. So, how long are you going to say you're wearing black? Like the series has been over for a week. I know the series has been over for almost a week.
I almost wasn't going to watch any more basketball.
You almost gave up.
But now I fuck with the Knicks because I need them to beat Boston. They can't get 19 on us.
Oh, so you don't want Boston to get 2 ahead.
If they get 19, bro.
Because they're 1 ahead right now, right? 18, 17.
Let's go, Brunson. Let's go, Knicks.
So that's it. That's your whole thing is for the Knicks now.
Absolutely.
Well, Gino, thank you for spending this season with us.
I see y'all only bring me on when it's bad news.
Showing us how volatile Laker fans are in LA. At least you got the Dodgers.
I hear you, and we're
Dodgers
about to go off. Absolutely.
We need to start getting to some games. Lon's the homie now. We need to start getting to some more Dodger games.
Make the call. He tells you every time he sees you, bro.
We got to get out there, Lon. We coming to some Dodger games, man, since Gino is depressed about his Lakers.
Yes.
Well, Gino, great season for you guys. 3rd seed in the West. First round exit. 50 wins for JJ. I think the future is Braun made some demands. Some shit is gonna happen. Rob just signed that extension, so Rob is on the hot seat again.
Do you think LeBron should take a pay cut to get some more players?
I'm never gonna tell a man to take his, do anything with his money. But if you want more guys to be able to come to the team, some guys are gonna have to make sacrifices. I'm pretty sure, especially if anything is true about getting close to getting Giannis. I'm sure some restructuring will have to be done. So we'll have to see how much these guys want it. The Lakers are never down for too long, so at least you can hang your hat on that. It's a nice hat, by the way.
I appreciate that.
Good season, bro. I'll give you a hug off camera.
I need it.
I've teamed up with DraftKings Pick 6 to give you guys some picks for these playoff matchups. Wednesday night, Knicks versus the Celtics. I feel like Jalen Brunson will have more points than the DraftKings Pick 6 has him at. And I feel like Jason Tatum will make more threes than the DraftKings Pick 6 has him at. That's a wrap for this week on Unplugged. You can catch us on all the Smoke Productions YouTube and the DraftKings Network. We'll see you guys next week.